So let's do a little bit of work with calculating loan balances. So we've talked about retrospective and prospective methods for finding balances of loans. So we're going to use both of those methods to solve this particular problem. So in this example, we've got a $20,000 loan. It's going to be repaid in 35 payments. However, after 16 payments have been made, the borrower can only pay a third of the payment each time rather than the entire payment. So they're going to do that for 12 more payments. And then after that time, they're going to renegotiate the loan at a higher interest rate and pay it off in 7 additional payments using level payments again. And what our goal is to figure out what the new level payment will be. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is find the original payment amount. So we do that straightforwardly. We've got the $20,000 loan that we have. We have 35 payments, so we find the present value of those payments using our angle 35. Calculate our payment, and we get $9.97-ish. We could also do that on our calculator with those time value of money buttons on our calculator and get the same value. Probably this one might even be a little bit easier to use the calculator throughout the entire problem. All right, so notice that something's happening at the 16th payment. After that, we're going to lower the payment. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out what the balance is after that 16th payment. All right, so after 16 years, we have 19 more payments to go. So we can use the prospective method for figuring out the balance. We've got the payment amount, and there's 19 more of those payments left. So the balance at time, that should say 16, and not 19, because we're at 16 years. So the balance at time 16 should be $13,709. We can also use our amortization worksheet on our BA2 Plus to get that balance. Go into the work after you've got that stuff that we just did on the previous slide stored in your calculator. You can go into the amortization worksheet and set 16 equal to your beginning and ending payments, and it'll give you that balance in there as well. All right, so using this new value here, we need to figure out what the balance is going forward after 12 more payments that are at a third of the level than what they were. So we don't know how long it's going to take to pay that off, so we can't figure out what the balance is after 12 more payments using the prospective method because we don't know how many more periods there are in order to be able to pay off that loan. And in fact, in this case, when we're making a third of the payment, the balance is actually going to go up rather than down, so it would never get paid off. So your prospective method is not going to be a good method to use in order to calculate the balance. So let's use the retrospective method instead. That 13,000 and change would grow to that times 1.035 to the 12th power. We need to move that forward 12 years and then subtract off the third payment, the future value of those 1/3 payments. This, by the way, should not say sub 31. When I type this up, I added 12 to the 19. We've already established this should be a 16, not a 19. So this should be a 28, not a 31 here. So this is the balance after 28 years would be this value, again, using a retrospective method, right? We take the balance, move it forward 12 periods, and subtract off the future value of those 12 reduced payments. Notice in this case, the balance goes up, like I mentioned earlier, goes up to $15,848.70. Again, we could have used our time value of money buttons, used our balance from time 16, which would give us the $13,709.39 as our present value. Take our payments that we had and cut it by third. Using 3.5 our interest rate and 12 more periods, we would have gotten the future value is $15,848.70. So we could have used the time value of money buttons, and I would encourage you to do it that way. All right, now that we have our balance at time 28, we want to pay this off in 7 more periods. So do that just like we did before. We know the balance that needs to get paid off. We need A angle 7 at 4% interest now because the interest rate has gone up in this renegotiation. Solving for P, you'll get $26.40.55. And then again, you could use your time value of money sequence because buttons again because you would have that future value calculated, just make it the present value and change your interest rate and your number of years.